You know, Star Wars should really make Visions canon. And I'm not joking. I think Visions should be canon. The kind of the thing behind this is that Visions doesn't fit in Star Wars, especially episodes like the Twins where they're pulling out some full kill a kill going on there, and it is power creep to an immense degree. But what it does do is if you had these are stories within Star Wars. So you have a story within a story, you get some whole storyception going on. And effectively speaking, what you say is this is what the people of the galaxy watch. This is kind of their entertainment. So when you have people reference stories of the Jedi, they're referencing, you can say, okay, we watched Visions, that's what they're referencing. So it's like, hey, Jedi are noble warriors or whatnot. So you watch things like The Village Bride, where a individual warrior saves a random village in the middle of nowhere. Or you go, well, what's the difference between a Jedi and a Sith? Or there's no difference. You shouldn't trust them. There's something to be said there for, I think it's the Ninth Jedi is the title of that one, the one with the sabersmith. But at the same time, a lot of it's obviously not true. So you end up with a lot of people that would be like, well, what really is a Jedi? You see them; these are legendary figures in your time, and you're looking at it, and you're like, wow, it's a real life Jedi. I didn't think I'd ever see one. And you also have no idea what to expect because every story references them kind of differently. So you're like, well, they're supposed to help me, but at the same time, I know they might not. And this would be really fun to kind of just play with. It gives you a good kind of in universe reason to have more Vision stories. And if for whatever reason you have a Star Wars project that falls through at kind of the last minute, and you've got 90% of it done, but you can't publish it. You don't have a way to, you're not going to rewrite the whole thing, and you're thinking of just scrapping it. What you do is you kind of finish it up and then publish it under Visions. And you say, hey, this was a story in Star Wars. Maybe throw in some anachronisms or something that are clearly blank. Do the fun stuff with it. And then put it under Visions so you're like, hey, for us out in, the real world, we're like, hey, we know this isn't the main canon of Star Wars. You can watch this without trying to compare it to everything else. But at the same time, it's also something that in universe, it's good to know because people are going to kind of in universe reference various things. And you'd be like, well, what happened at the Battle of Endor? And if you have 3 different versions running around where you have episode 6 and then 2 things from Visions, you're like, well, people could be referencing something different. You never know. And then I think it would be fun. Because personally, like, it means you could do, like, Treasure Planet in Star Wars, and then end it and have somebody go, well, what if it was real? And then just kick off a whole series of people doing Treasure Planet in Star Wars for real this time, which is, so much shenanigans. And it's just, that's really what it is you could do so much shenanigans from having Star Wars reference non-canon material. So, that's just my 2 cents on the topic there.